So this is episode 1. So we haven't actually started the build yet. So everything I talk about today will be planning, architects, builders, money, council, encumbrances, easements, design, all of that fun stuff. And actually going back through the whole process from the start, from when we built the house until today, where next week we are supposed to be starting our extension. So thank you for being here. So in 2017, we bought this house. It was a little 2x1 bedroom house. I mean, it still is. It's 100 square meters. It's really, really small, but the block is quite large. It's 750 squares. It's in a really cute little quiet neighborhood. And when I first walked in, I just fell in love with the high ceilings. That sold me straight away. I didn't really think about much else at the time. We just wanted to get something on the low end of our budget that we could just move into, basically get into the market, not think too much about it. We never had planned to do a renovation as such to the home. We knew that we'd do it up. We knew that we'd wanted something that we could just have it as a project house, not really thinking how, long-term, anything like that. We just wanted to get into the market. So that was 2017. We lived in the house for 2 years. We didn't do anything on it. This is back in the day before COVID. We spent a lot of our time traveling, just living, just enjoying ourselves. Got 2019 around March, and we decided to do a little bathroom and laundry reno. They were both just really budget friendly. The laundry didn't have much storage in it, so we just put in some new cabinetry, and the bathroom just needed a tidy up, a clean, just gutted it, retiled everything, kept it really simple. So that was in 2019. By the end of 2019, we started thinking, all right, we need to do something with this kitchen. It's really small. It's like 2.7 meters by 2.7 meters, so it's quite small. It's really dated. There's barely any storage. The only food cabinetry in there was about 900 wide, so not what we were used to at all. No dishwasher or anything like that. So we basically had to become minimalists overnight, which was lots of fun. It's actually taught us lots of good storage hacks and, keeping the place nice and minimal. But anyway, we had to work out how we're going to make this kitchen better. We couldn't really do anything with the space in terms of making it bigger. So we thought we'd just, gut it, put in some better cabinetry, at least kind of fill the walls with storage. But the more we thought about it, we just realized it was going to be too small. So we kind of just let it sit for a bit. We were watching a episode of House Rules. It was, I still forget who it was, but anyway, they knocked out the end of their house and they extended it backwards. Like they had a gable ceiling and they just extended it out and they had a huge open living, and we decided that's exactly what we wanted to do. So then we went down the path of looking at extending. So it was September, I think, 2019 when we engaged our very first draftsman. Now this was $500, super budget. This guy was old school. He basically came to our house and told us, basically tried talking us out of extending the first time, which was hilarious. Looking back now, 2022 house prices, he had no idea. Anyway, he even thought that skylights were dated. I'm pretty sure he thought we were talking about the little sun tunnel things or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, $500, you get what you're given, right? He did the extension up to my plan. So I'd done a rough drawing of how I thought it would be done. Again, we were going to extend out the living room end. Done all of that, then basically got it quoted up by a few builders, and it was going to cost a lot of money to only really get a bigger kitchen, a bigger living room, and one extra bedroom. So it'd still be a 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom, and it just wasn't going to give us the value for money. So then we started looking into how it would reflect in the real estate. So if we had a 3x1 in our area, how much would it cost? If we had a 4-bedroom by 2 bathroom in our area, how much would that cost? And therefore, how much money can we spend on it? We very quickly realized that a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom was going to give us much more value to basically spend. So we went down the path of, we need to make this a 4x2 bedroom. How can we do that? We just thought, okay, time to look at a new draftsman, or let's get a building designer to draw things up maybe slightly differently. We thought that maybe he could squeeze a 4th bedroom in somewhere. Anyway, bless his cotton socks, he came out on site and he said, have you even considered this space that you have over the other side of your house? And at the time we had no idea how that was even possible to incorporate that into our home, because it was just coming off of our bedroom end. We didn't think like, how could you do an extension? I didn't even consider the fact that you could flip the floor plan to make it all work. So basically from then on, we have gone with that idea of putting the extension on the other side of the property, which would mean that the entire floor plan would be flipped. So we spent a lot of time with this draftsman. Now this company wasn't the best and I would not recommend them, so I won't mention it, but it took about 7 months, and now this was bad on my behalf. If I look back now, I would know that this is a long time, but there was a lot of back and forth to the point that the company ended up refunding us our money, because the draftsman that we worked with that was employed by them ended up leaving the company. I don't think that he was, I don't think that it was the best to be working there, basically. So we got our money back. It did take 7 months of our time. The one thing I can thank him for is for identifying the other side of our house and making the whole floor plan flip around, which has given us our dream home in the end. So basically, if we finally finished those plans, we got them to a standard that I think we were happy with. Now this draftsman had no really design skills. There was no internal renders done. There was no internal elevations whatsoever. It was literally just the extension, really, really basic plans. Got it through planning at council in January 2020, which was very exciting. And then we thought, okay, time to go find a builder. So we found a builder through our electrician who we love, who's done some jobs around our house, and he recommended him, and I contacted him, and straight away I just got along with him. I felt like he was the guy for the job. Once I had showed him the plans, he said these need to be all redone. They are not properly done for builder spec. It's going to cost way more than it needs to build to these plans. And not only that, there's going to be a lot of mistakes. There's things that aren't drawn out properly. They need to be redone, basically. So that was a stab in the guts after 7 months of being back and forth with this draftsman who just took so long and never really listened to us and just gave us the tiniest amendments each time and just wasn't really on the ball. So after already feeling like, that took so long, we're going to have to redo everything. So we went through the builder's architect, which was fabulous. They were great. It took about a month or two to get everything redone, and we changed so much in that time as well. We re-looked at all the internal elevations and how that was going to work. We added bulkheads, changed the ceiling height, changed the deck size, the pitch of the roof, so many things that were crucial that this architect picked up. The other draftsman just didn't care or just didn't have the eye for it. So this was a crucial period. Throughout this as well, we had the engineer on board who did all the engineering plans. So at this time, there was myself, the builder, the architect, and the engineer in an email thread, which was great. So anytime I had an idea, we could just bounce it back really quickly and work through that. I had basically a round table of all these different brains just dealing with stuff as it popped up, as opposed to the year before when I was only dealing with a draftsman who just didn't have any of the other pieces in the pie. That's why all the mistakes happened. So highly recommend that, having everyone on board, having a team from the start, so much better. Then we got to August and plans had gone through development approval. They had all finalized. This is August last year, 2021. So in reality, it's been 7 months really till today. I'm in March to start this, since we had full DA. And considering COVID and everything going on, it's not that bad. It's really funny because Spencer said to me, you thought the extension would happen the next month after we started. And it's kind of true. I do have that mentality. So, I mean, since the very first time that we engaged the first draftsman, late 2019, it's been over 2 years. But in reality, that doesn't seem too bad. So it is what it is. So yeah, late last year, August, we had the plans finalized, and it was time to start getting everything quoted up, like properly broken down. We are getting a loan just for the first component of the build, just to get things moving quickly. So the builder is only working with us until lockup, which means the slab foundations up until the roof is on. That doesn't include gyprock or anything, or even insulation, any of that. It's just bare bones, bare frames, that's it. So the loan will cover that aspect, and then the rest we're going to be finishing ourselves, owner builder, which is exciting. We can get our hands dirty again. And this starts next week, which is very exciting. So that is everything, basically. It has been a bit of a roller coaster. I've learned a lot. A couple of things that I would recommend, just from my own experience. Like I said, number one is to have a team working with you from the start. So architect and builder from the start at least. And then obviously engineer comes in later, but just the two, architect and builder, or even interior designer if you really want to. I kind of took on that role as architect and interior designer through all of it. So to be honest, I'm a little bit scared of how everything's going to turn out because I have no experience in this stuff. I have designed it completely myself. The architect basically just asked me how I wanted it. He didn't really interpret or put in any input much at all. Just a few things, but it was mostly practical reasons, not really design aesthetics. So really interesting to see how this is going to play out. So yeah, and that is what is happening. So the builder will be building everything in the extension till lock-up only, and then we're taking over and finishing the extension. And then we also move on to the existing floor plan of our house and flipping that. So that means turning the turning the living room into a master bedroom, turning the kitchen into an ensuite, turning the dining room into a walk-in robe, turning our old master into an office, and honestly just flipping everything. So that is a whole lot more work and more jobs that we're going to be doing after the extension. So there's a lot of work going on here, plenty of content to come. I'm really excited to break ground and actually get this project moving. So thank you, and thanks for being here.